Hey, what's up everybody, it's Alfaro here, and today we're going to be talking about the character traits and the diary entries for Heng and Sharice, who are the two new cleaners that are going to be coming out in Expansion 1, Tunnels of Terror, that releases on April 12th of next month. I'll also be showing you the achievements that are going to be coming with that expansion, and I'll give you a preview of the new Warped Ridden. So let's start with Sharice and her character traits. Her first trait is armor pieces shot off Ridden have a chance to become armor plates. Then she has plus 25% trauma resistance, then team effects, plus 25% team bolstered health, and her melee weapon is a fire axe, and her last trait says consumable armor plates that grant a buff will spawn with Sharice in game. Personally, I think Sharice is going to be a beast when it comes to the higher difficulty and the Ridden highs, because she's going to be able to have armor, she's going to have plus 25% trauma resistance and plus 25% team bolstered health, which means her and her teammates are going to have more temporary health. Now let's move on to her diary entry. I was fighting for Evansville long before the collapse. Granted, I fought fires and not worm infested freaks, but a fire axe comes in handy either way. Ran with a different squad back then, Johannes, Garcia, Miller, and me, Engine 12's finest. We were like family. Faced some of my toughest battles with them. I'll never forget when I first saw the world go to shit. I was a first responder on the front lines, racing toward downtown to contain a kitchen fire gone awry. By the time we arrived, the complex was mostly ash. No way there were any survivors. While wading through the smoldering debris, I saw something move. Got my hopes up because when we got closer, we saw it was alive. But it wasn't human though. Not anymore. First time I saved someone by killing them. We pledged to stick together, to keep helping people. Wherever we went, Ridden fell and didn't come back. Our last ran through, different story. While we were out there, we saw something new and covered in spines. Decided to follow it into one of those tunnels that have started popping up more and more. Got surrounded and, needless to say, I did what I had to. I can still hear their screams. Found myself getting picked up by Philip soon after it all went down and brought to hope. A home for survivors, for fighters. After the shit I've seen, I know I'll be fighting the Ridden till my very last breath. Now let's move on to Heng, and his first character trait is senses and can ping nearby attachments, purple stash doors, and hive entrances. When hit by mutation, there's a chance that an item will fall out of Heng's pockets. Team effects plus 5% team accessory reuse chance. And his melee weapon is a hatchet. So both of the new cleaners are carrying a melee weapon. One thing that's funny about Heng is that he's like a human piñata, because if he gets hit, he has something to fall out of his pockets, which is pretty funny. He seems like he's going to be very useful in the Ridden hive, since he's going to be able to see hive entrances. And also he has that plus 5% team accessory reuse chance, so that means him and his teammates has a chance to reuse the same accessory instead of using it and then being out of it and having to find another one. Now let's move on to the diary entry. The collapse wasn't the first time I had to survive in a strange new world. I remember the night I arrived in America, just another Khmer who lost everything. The fields I escaped, I still can't speak of it. Took a job at the first place that promised a hot meal and to turn a blind eye if I slept in the back. I met so many people with so many different ideas. Some pleasant, some not so much. But the most interesting people were the punks. They showed up at my hole in the wall long after the clubs closed. Young and wild, they live by their own rules. And after what I've been through, I needed that. We party all night, and each bottle we passed around helped me leave the past behind. Over the decades, I outgrew my studded belts, married, and had a daughter. But the memories we made, the importance of the community, are tattooed on my brain. Us cleaners stick together and help who we can. Just because the world ended doesn't mean humanity went with it. There's still hope. Now let's move on to the 12 achievements that are going to be coming with the Tunnels of Terror. Now the first one is Master Spelunker. Complete all Ridden hives. Next is Overwhelming Power. Get a kill with a legendary weapon. Next is Totem Toter. Earn some skull totems. Next is Using your noggin. Kill 10 Ridden with a skull totem. Next is Unnatural Selection. Kill each of the warped Ridden. Next is Left Ventricle. Find the secret in the nursery. Next is Nook or Cranny. Find the secret in sunken passages. Next is Unholy Grail. Find the secret in the cut. Next is Precarious Perch. Find the secret in Brood Lair. Next is Backtrack. Find the secret in 300 Below. Next is Round the River Bend. Find the secret in Bloodstream. And the last one is Pipe Dream. Find the secret in Caustic Cesspool. Now from looking at these achievements, you can see that there's going to be a total of 7 Ridden hives. And one interesting thing to note is that there's no achievement here for completing the new difficulty. So maybe maybe it's going to be one of those in-game achievements where you unlock something like a skin for completing the new difficulty. Now here's a preview of the 3 warped Ridden that are going to be in the expansion Tunnels of Terror. As you can see, all of them have spikes on them, and I'm curious to see their abilities and to see if they do more damage than the other variations. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully I see you guys down the line when this expansion releases, and hopefully you subscribe to the channel so you can be up to date on Back 4 Blood and watch my live streams when I play, you know, other games out there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn that notification bell on. This is Alfaro signing out.